Well, I just got a note from somebody who said that Scarborough, who is increasingly difficult to decipher, Joe Scarborough at MSNBC this morning said that we'd have been much further along in the Benghazi story if right-wing media hadn't overplayed it. Now, as often happens with Scarborough, he has inadvertently swerved into a decent point, 50%. It is true. I don't think it is deniable. Whenever conservative media, are really interested in something, the mainstream media purposely avoid it. They mock us for being interested, but they use almost as a guidepost. Anything that's happening in the country, I don't care, it could be news, cultural, could be social, could be political, whatever it is that we are interested in, focused on, trying to call your attention to, they purposely avoid it because we're pushing it. They have been, I think, moved into the area of journalistic malpractice. I think they have. My friend Andy McCarthy asked a question today in a post at National Review. Does the White House press corps have any self-respect left? Sometime during the administration of Bill Clinton, these journalists went from seeing their job as watchdog, keeping Democrat government honest, to admiring raconteurs of how artfully they were lied to. Remember that, and he's right about that. They marveled at how well Clinton lied. They appreciated it, they studied it, and they learned it. And they put it into practice. One of the reasons I'm convinced the Monica Lewinsky story was spiked was because they knew we would run with it. And then when Drudge did finally run it, look how long it took them. They were dragged kicking and screaming to the Lewinsky story, and they've been dragged kicking and screaming into the Benghazi story. Now, the difference is where Scarborough's wrong is, had we not made a big deal out of Benghazi, it would have been forgotten. They would have buried it. So the idea that we would have gotten to the Benghazi story a lot sooner if right-wing, quote-unquote, media hadn't overplayed their hands is literally nuts. It's crazy. So it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, Benghazi may be too big to bury. But I'm serious. By the way, this is no feather in their cap, but I'm telling you, the drive-by media will pay attention to what we're interested in as conservative media, and for that reason alone, they'll avoid it. And the reason they will avoid it is simply so that we don't have a win. They will subordinate their own integrity. They will subordinate their own jobs, their own professionalism. They will subordinate their own self-respect just to deny us what they would consider a win and themselves a loss. So they looked at Benghazi and they see big trouble for Obama, but we're the only ones talking about it, so they ignore it for that reason, plus the possible damage to Obama. The fact remains, they participated in a cover-up of 4 murders after the fact